Alright, sorry guys for the delay here. Having issues. But I'm going to try a new program here called Let's View. And let's see if I can get this to look pretty up on the screen, huh? Holy cow, this one is huge. Look at how big this thing is. That's crazy. Okay, so we'll see if this one works better than my normal one. I have no idea if it will or not. I can already tell it has like a gray filter to it, which is kind of weird. It's still a little bit short on the screen there. Can I make this? Okay, so that cuts off everything. So that's about as good as I can do right about there. All right. If that's what we can do, that's what we're gonna do. Sorry guys. So let's see how this works. Wonder if there's a delay or a lag to this as well. So, anywho, hope you guys are having a good day. I thought my new Wi-Fi would work, but apparently I still need to separate my 2.5 gigahertz from my 5 gigahertz, and I think that's the only way to solve this, so that way I can always confirm I'm on the right Wi-Fi both on my phone and my computer, because I think that's the problem. Is one's on 2.5 and the other, or 2.4, and the other one's on 5 gigahertz. It looks like it's a higher quality. I don't know. Can you guys tell a difference here? I know it's like gray in the background, but the actual cards look like really high quality to me. Let me know. It looks smooth. Is everything on the screen though? I feel like I'm missing stuff on the screen. No, it's all on there. I guess I'm missing part of my screen. I see that now. Okay, I have to make this just a little bit smaller. Okay. It's kind of cool because like the background is the same background, you know? Like if I make this, hide that, I almost have it correct. I just need to move this up a little bit, it looks like. So close. About right there. Almost identical, right? I'll take it. Can I make this thing go away at all? Screenshot, always on top, record, brush, rotate. I don't want to do full screen or minimize. Okay. And I don't have the ability to click any of that. Okay. Just checking. It looks better to you, you think? Okay, well thank you, Mrs. Tapdawg. I forgot I'm using tiebreaker right now, so oh well. I'll kill Clyde quickly at least. Just don't get my extra bounty. I should make my announcement on Twitch. Or Discord, I mean. Almost did that right. Let's try one more time. All right, there we go. Well, let's see. So, apologize for the delay, everyone. I have some fun news. Yeah, see, that looks cool because it's actually, it like continues on underneath in a sense. That's kind of fun. This is working out so far so good. I had a busy day today. I got my new car yesterday, guys. It's beautiful. I love it. Mrs. Tapdawg is amazing. So we're doing a little bit of story mode right now, and then I'm going to jump into some arena, and then I'll finish it off with some heroics. 3 more wins till you get the bear gold combo card, so that's like 3 hours from now if you need to wait for energy. That's pretty exciting. Is that going to be your first gold combo card, David? Yuletide pack, worth it? No. Fairy is one of the weaker Onyx combo cards. It did get quite a few backfills, but it still just does not have enough combos for it to be worth going for. Holidays, same thing. It got a decent number of backfills, but not enough for someone to go for it, I don't think. There's 6 days left for Anna. Okay, so you got plenty of time. You might be able to actually get all the way to tier 30 then and get your free key as well. I think you get 2 on the bear event. All the rest you only get 1. I would recommend keeping those until the next time you do the bear event and trying to get the Anna card. Or you can use them all on the monster event to try to get Monster Slayer. Completely up to you. I saved all mine on Underdog to try to get the Anna card, and I did not get it. I think you had about 10 or 12 keys, maybe even 13 keys, and I don't think I got it, unfortunately. Holiday seems good for your deck, but not Fairy. That's not good for any deck. You know, I've been slowly working on it. I've got, if I go to my edit deck, edit cards, sort alphabetically and type in Fairy here, if I can type. Oh gosh, come on, I'm not touching T, I'm touching F. So I've got a level 5 now, and I've got my level 4 there, and I'm still trying to decide if I want to fuse them or not. I think before I end up fusing them, I'll probably run it in the optimizer. If the optimizer says a fused Fairy goes into my deck, then I will fuse them, but more than likely they'll stay unfused. Alright, we're going over to Arena here. I think I've got about 11 or 12 turns. Yeah, I'll have about 12 turns. Let's do a prediction here. I know there's not too many of us here today, which is to be assumed since it's a holiday coming up here. But we'll do, will I get 10 or more wins? Yes or no? You can use your channel points. If you click on the little gold icon, you can vote using your channel points. If you get it right, you get to get some Tapdawg. If you get it wrong, well, you lose that Tapdawg. What's Fat King's fusion? He is a crushing blow, so he gets rid of your opponent's defense. So he would do 34 defense. Oh, thank you, Zmork, for the follow. I appreciate that. I usually have a timer set so you can't say anything for 10 minutes just because we've had some spammers come in before. So, anywho, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So get your predictions in if you want to. It looks like 1,800 on yes right now and nothing on no. But I'll start my battles here. So that means I'm allowed to have 2 losses of these 12 battles I'll get. I think that's actually a good starting hand because I'm going to have to do 4130, which might give me an automatic win with AB. Okay, no, I still have to do 2 more damage with AB, so fairly close. And there it is. Okay, so that's a win against AB. Let me open up a notepad here. You have 300 gems, hoping for sniper fused from combat. That's pretty good. Yeah, you should have a good shot. You can always hope that you get an Android, or not Android, a Google Play or a iTunes gift card for Christmas too, and then you can use that for it. Let's keep battling. Yeah, so Fat King has 34 attacks, so he would do 34 damage to the opponent. The only time he would not do 34 is obviously if they use Curse, or if they're a healing or enchanter. Oh, it is a little bit delayed there, I'm seeing on the screen. That's a bummer. I don't normally look at the screen. It was working well. Don't know what happened. There we go. The second one. I'll make this a little smaller. Don't need as big of a text box. It's crazy how much Final Forms matter. I just got Northern King Fuse and Robot King Fuse last pack and went from Gold 1 to Diamond 1, 2. The biggest thing that's going to help you, though, is getting Tiebreaker. That's really what gets people from being anywhere down in Gold and Diamond up to Masters and Legendary. It's crazy how much that improves your win rate. Your win weight. I should have used that for the fire. Oh no, it's void, that's right. The fire void does not exist. Ooh, I might actually have to wait another turn here, yeah. Oh. Uh-oh, I might lose. I think I got a loss. I can get one more loss, guys. How do you get there when you need to finish the season in Master 3? The biggest thing you can be doing is use all of your dark orbs that you get from the arena for health. Because long term, that will get you over that hump. Hello, more people. Welcome, welcome. Hope you guys are having a good day. I think today was my last day for work for the week, which is nice. Thank you for the follow, iSwifty. iSwifty? Or is that just Swifty with bars on either side? That probably makes more sense. Yeah, it's my last day for work this week, and my boss told me he wants me to take next week off too, so I'll be off next week, which is pretty nice. We're going to go against Fishping this time. To be fair, I don't have an Onyx card yet, and only 5 gold combo cards. Yeah, so you'll see, as you continue to improve your deck's quality, you'll slowly get up there, and then every once in a while, there's times when people don't play, and there's an opportunity for you to get better. And it's just a game of patience, I guess you could say. And there's our final form. Fish, you were supposed to use your final form there. What's going on? Well, now you don't want to use it, because I need to do some more damage to you. There we go. That's 4 wins and a loss. Again, I can have up to 2 losses, so I hope I don't have to have another loss, but I have a little bit of flexibility here if I need it. So I'm Chills. You could get Horse as your first Onyx, right? Because I think that's the one that's in Combat Pack. I'm a fan of Horse because it's a very flexible card. It has both defensive and offensive combos. I mean, a lot of the combos are just kind of subpar, obviously, but that flexibility where you can use it in a pinch to be a defensive card when you don't have your final form is nice. I like it a lot more on my Tapdawg account than on my Underdog account. Let's see. Just want to make sure. Okay. That was 5 wins. 1 loss. I think I'd rather do that. 1 less attack, but a lot more defense there. Just felt a little bit safer. So plans for us. Tomorrow is when we're going to be celebrating Christmas with our kiddos. So my mom purchased us a bounce house, like a bouncer jumper thing, like a miniature one. So we're going to have that inflated tomorrow morning. So when my kids come downstairs, my little girl can jump around in it and have fun and all sorts of fun things like that. That was 6 wins. You're hoping for it. Your deck right now is kind of a stall. You take heal and most of your cards are higher defense, and since most people here have between 30 to 40, you can stall out. Okay. You need to be masters to get any of the arena types. Is that correct? What's the difference between when you make an Onyx combo and when you make a Diamond combo with an Onyx card? 2 extra attack and defense, at least when you're at the highest level. So like this would have been a 33-31 if one of those was not Onyx. I don't know if I have anything else, but yeah, basically, so like this one, if Horn had been an Onyx, this would be a 27-41. And I need his health to be, or Fish Pink's health to be at least 44, because that right there is a 44 damage, so. It's a miniature. It is not huge. It's 12 foot by 9 foot and 7 foot tall is what Mrs. Tapdawg says. But it's a kid's one. It can only have 250 pounds in it. It's not like the ones that you see outside. It's an indoor one, so it's relatively small. It takes up a lot of space, but it's a small one versus a outdoor one that's like, 15, 20 feet tall. Okay, we need to get 3 more wins here, guys. 3 more wins. Well, I'm just going to play it a little safe here. I don't know. Got to get AB's health down. Still another 7 or so. Okay, that was actually good turn to use that combo. Unfortunately, I might lose here. Yeah, I lost. Okay, so I can't lose anymore. 7 wins, 2 losses. Well, hello, Zmork. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Sorry, I have the little timer on there to not let you speak for a little bit, but welcome. It is lovely about the castle and the kids. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them seeing that and playing in it. And hopefully, they don't break their necks. But you know, if it happens, it happens. I'm kidding. What's my opinion on Tyler's new way of doing arena, halving the opponent deck and just surviving the battle? I'm not sure who Tyler is. What you're talking about is the stall, which is what Platypus does. It doesn't win as often as Tiebreaker does. It has its own niche purposes, and for someone with a lower, it's harder to set up than a Tiebreaker deck. Is the best way to explain that. So it's not a stall deck's not difficult, or it's not easy to master, whereas a Tiebreaker deck is extremely easy to master. I think if we were to get to a situation where Tiebreaker was removed from the game, that would be a natural place a lot of players would probably lean towards, as a lobotomizer deck. But since Tiebreaker exists in the game, your best option is to use that to win. You'll win a lot more often with a Tiebreaker deck than with anything else. Hello, Taco Cat. Welcome, welcome. Do I think there's any way to make Master Enchanter competitive? I think that's a tough one, because in some ways it made the most sense, a Master Enchanter. I think the thing it would have to do is it would have to, every orb would have to go up 1 attack, 1 defense. You know how the very first one you get 1 attack, 1 defense? I think if that happened the whole way up, so at the best one you'd have +5/+5, but even then, I don't know if that'd be enough for Master Enchanter to be competitive. Because adding an extra 5 attack and defense to your card is great, but that doesn't guarantee any damage done to your opponent. Like Tiebreaker gives you automatic 5 damage to your opponent every single time. Okay, that's 9 wins, 2 losses. So I got to win this last battle here. But I think something along those lines with Master Enchanter would make it competitive. Maybe it's even more than an extra attack and defense for each orb. But I feel like it's hard to balance it. I think to start with, at the very least, adding an extra attack and defense to each orb rather than just 1 attack or 1 defense would help it considerably. I think I can get away with that one. I needed to do 1 more damage. Bummer. It's all good. We got him there. You're pulling an all-nighter trying to build something in Minecraft. You got 7 hours. Have any suggestions on pulling an all-nighter or building something in Minecraft? What would you need a suggestion on? Because pulling an all-nighter, I've not done that in a long time. I was pretty close last night, though. I didn't get home till 12:30 at night. That's pretty late for me. I flew up to San Jose from where I live, which is about 5-6 hour drive, just to give you reference. And I flew up there and landed at 3 or so. I didn't leave there till about close to 5:36. So I didn't get home till 12:30. On building something, I've actually never used Minecraft. So I've never played Minecraft. I've only watched people play it. So I can't give you tips on building in Minecraft. I would imagine since it's all blocky, the further away you are from the image, the more round it would look. But what type of a thing are you building? Are you building like a structure? Are you building a specific thing? A giant grabbers? Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, a giant grabbers would be great. Okay, that was 10 wins. We got it on the last one there. So let's get the results in. Choose outcome. Yes, congratulations to my one person who bet on that. I don't know if you get any gold for that, but congrats. All right, finished with that. We're gonna go over to our deck here. We're at 340 cards. I don't have anything new to add. I mentioned on my last stream that I'm fairly close to being done with Underground. I've got maybe another couple days worth of training on it. I'm doing all my single combo cards right now, so Snake and Wolf, Werewolf there. These ones on the other side are going through the additional fairy backfills right now. So trying to add those in so fairy can be a little bit more useful. So we will do our round here, but before we start it, let's see, catch up on some messages here. You could do that actually. That'd be awesome if you could build a, if you do grabbers, send me a photo of it. I'll see if I can add that to like one of my next videos I post on YouTube. I have to play Minecraft on a future stream. Yeah, I know. We've been talking about that. I probably do need to do that. I'm going to put a prediction up here while I catch up on the messages. So, will Tapdawg beat Heroics? Yes or no? 5-minute long timer there. I beat it on stream 2 days ago, and I beat it last night. So, I still don't necessarily win every single time. And so I'm 2 for 2 so far this week, but could break the streak tonight. Hello there, General Kenobi. I just made the, on my Underdog account, Robot and Multiples, which makes the General Grievous pretty good. There was 3 of you, Mrs. Tapdawg? Oh, okay. I'm Chills, you won 30? Awesome. You won like 6,000 points? Awesome. Do I think you need more combo cards or final forms for your Heroics deck? No, I think it's pretty much set. What I'm doing right now with this deck is I'm going through, sort these by level. Okay, they're sorted by level. So let me go to Wings. I'm going through and upgrading all these level 4 cards, not the Onyx ones, but the Diamonds and the Gold cards. I'm leveling all those guys up, so I'm just going through one by one, because that slightly improves this deck, but it makes them a lot more consistent. I've been trying to find ones that have a lower defense, so like Raging Gamer might be the next one I level, or I think I have a couple that still have 18 defense at level 4. Not too many left here. Maybe I got all the 18s. Oh no, I still have that Grey Goo there. So, and the Fat Kings. So that way I take a little bit less damage, which means I can stay Master Enchanter that much longer. Or Alchemist, I'm sorry, not Enchanter. Alright, we're going to begin this trial. How many final forms do you recommend for your arena? I recommend either running a 35 deck, which is 30 combo cards, 5 final forms, or a 36 card deck with 6 final forms and 30 combo cards. I personally just prefer the 6, just because with 5 I was having a little bit of a difficult time getting my final form to always appear. So you do run the risk when you're doing that, though, that you could have a full hand of combo cards. It happens very, very rarely, but it can happen. More often what you'll do is you'll have a hand with 2 or 3 final forms in it. Not the end of the world, but it definitely makes it harder. What do I think is the best Portal gold combo card? Space, probably. With the backfills, I think it's still Space. Life might have a little bit of a run now for being it's significantly improved, but still not that great. Would it be okay if all my combo cards were gold combo cards? Yeah. I like the deck variety, so I enjoy having as many combo cards as I can in my heroics. I'm sure I could probably make my heroics a little bit more efficient if I just focused on like gold and onyx cards in there. But I like having the silver and the bronze cards because they can sometimes do diamond combos. Yeah, with only 3, you have a like 30% chance of getting your final form by turn 3. It's not very high. What I would recommend, I'm chills, in that situation, if you don't get a final form in your hand, redraw. I even do that with Underdog. So Underdog has... get your predictions in. You got about 30 seconds left. It looks about it's fairly equal. Sorry, so for Underdog... Oh, I need to swap my decks too. Underdog has the 6 and 30 deck, but even with that, I struggle to get him... to always get his final form. So as long as I have one in my hand, it's pretty much a guaranteed win at that point. So redrawing is definitely a big helper in those types of situations. I'm off to building. Have a great night. Oh, well, I hope it goes well, Zmork. I think if you can't do grabbers, do something LA related. I'd love to see it. Put a link in the Discord. All right, we're going to swap over to our regular deck so we don't make it easier for the people in Arena to kick our butts. You do that, but you still struggle sometimes, mainly because since you have so few gold combo cards and no Onyx, since you're in Diamond 2, your deck's like weaker. You need a final form to win. Yeah, I get that. It'll be that way. Like I said, even Underdog, and he sometimes makes it. He's normally in Legendary 1 or Legendary 2. Sometimes he's in Legendary 3, but haven't ever actually ended a week in Legendary 3 with him yet. But yeah, he can go on a run. Like right now, today, I don't think he's lost. But when he doesn't get his final form, it's a guaranteed loss. It's just how it is. So tomorrow, we're doing the Christmas thing in the morning with the kiddos, having them unwrap their presents, because on Christmas Day, we're leaving our house early to go over to Grandma and Grandpa's house over in Orange County. So we have to be there at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something earlier than that. So unfortunately, that means we can't do Christmas on Christmas morning. So we're doing it Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Eve as well, that in the evening we're going to go over to my family's, celebrate with them. In the afternoon, I should say. But let me hear your guys' plans. Do you have anything you're doing for Christmas? Is there anything you wanted for Christmas that you're hoping to find and get? Or know that you're getting? Maybe you peaked. I got a brand new car for Christmas, so I can't complain. My game is not liking the stream here. Apparently it's crashed or something. It's showing correctly on my screen, but not on the up above. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm just waiting for it to reload before I touch anything. Come on. Don't know what's going on. Maybe if I click continue, it'll keep going. Yeah, it's not showing on the screen mirror anymore, so it's not screen mirroring anymore, unfortunately. All right, let's see what we can do. I think there's definitely something wonky. You're hoping for some purses? You can send me links. Oh, of course you would, Mrs. Tapdawg. Let me see if I can open the screen mirror again. Busy day on Christmas. You're going to your wife's parents. Since yours are divorced, you're going to go to both there separately. I understand that. My parents are divorced, but my dad's in Arizona, so it's a little bit different for me on that end. Let me see if I can get this to show up with lonely screen now. Well, this should work for now. Back to lonely screen. I don't know why it decided to start working, but I'm not going to complain. Although, one of the benefits to the whole divorce thing is you sometimes get multiple presents. Instead of your parents buying you a present as a combo from the two of them, you get your own present from each of them sometimes. Oh, it's an Oompa Loompa. You might check your little alchemist. I'm secretly hoping that they will do something fun for Christmas. I don't have any insider information on that, so don't take what I just said as they're doing something tomorrow. But it'd be nice if they could. But I think more than likely they can't this year just because of how they have to run the game. But I'm fairly confident in the future they'll put some stuff into the game for future next year once we have the new version of the game up and running. And double the grandparents because they both remarried. Oh, that's true. That's pretty nice. We'll keep this hand and use our final form right away. I know I've mentioned this on stream before, but have you guys been trying the new season of Fortnite? What do you think? I've been enjoying it myself. I really like that sliding mechanic. The new red dot weapon is the best thing that's come to the game in a while. I never knew I needed that until
had one to play with. It's great.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah. This is also the first time where I'm not using a shotgun. I'll have the red dot, and I'll have a SMG, and that's all you need, really. You don't need a shotgun this season. I mean, if I find a purple of the pump, the fake pump, or a gold of that, I'll rock it. But the auto shotgun, it's just too low of damage to use. I'd rather spray. Yeah, MK is insane, and the SMG's OP. Yeah, you know what? I'm okay with a season where shotguns suck. That happened, I want to say that happened in one of the seasons of Chapter 2, where both the shotgun options... Oh, the makeshift one, the primal one. I did not like the primal season, though. But that happened back then, too, where the season just didn't work, and the shotguns weren't good, so you had to use other things. But all the weapons that season were horrible with the makeshift.
Taco Cat just started playing again, and your favorite gun's that AR that beams everything?
Yeah, the red dot AR is really cool. And the recoil is not too bad, especially when you get into a higher rarity of that thing. It is pretty nice. And I think the fact that everyone has one makes it fairly well balanced, because it'd be one thing if that was a rare gun and so like one person had it. Like if only they had the mythic version of it, I feel like that'd be overpowered. But the fact that anyone can find them fairly regularly, and even the gray version does a lot of damage, that it makes it an even playing ground. I got a lot of health to catch up there. I've only got 160 health so far.
Oh, welcome back, Cavid. We were just talking about Fortnite while you were gone.
Yeah, I need that fairy backfill. Yeah, you guys saw. I haven't got that yet. That's why I do the backfills partially rather than just doing all underground at the same time, so I can not be in this type of situation long term. You can travel a huge amount distance with the webs. Yeah, that's so going back to what I was talking about earlier, where I said that I haven't been rocking a shotgun. I'll usually use 2 slots for the SMG and the MK, and then two slots for healing. What usually, minis and whatever else I can find. And then that last slot will either be a random weapon that I find, or if I can get the Spider-Man gloves, I'll use those. I haven't mastered those yet. Sometimes I do really well and I feel like, oh, this is the best thing in the world. Other times, like, I'll hit a tree and just like stop and drop all of a sudden. So I need to practice with those webs a little bit more to understand how to flick them for best usage. You can travel a huge distance though with them, so that's pretty nice. I felt like Golem and Love made a combo. Oh well. I'm sorry I have not had a chance yet to work on the backfills for the Anderson Optimizer. I'm a couple behind, but I'll see if I can work on those soon. I got busy with work stuff. Haven't had a chance to add them, but I know a lot of people probably want them added so they can see how it improves their deck or makes any changes to their deck. It takes couple hours to update all of that information. So I like to try to do it when I can, and it's a whole lot easier when there's just one or two. Well, actually, no, you have to do the same steps regardless of how many you have to add. So the quantity is not as important. It adds a minuscule amount of time to the actual work. It's just the making sure you have the correct combo number for each card. It's just checking for accuracy, because otherwise the information provided doesn't really help much.
Bummer.
Alright, let's just kill him this time. There we go. Well, Fairy is just one of the backfills that was added recently. I don't think I've updated the optimizer for Bone and Death either. And I don't even know if I added the tree backfills or Healing and Life. I might have added Healing and Life. When was the last optimizer update? Let's see. Pins, messages. Healing and Life were the last updated. So that means I need to add in Tree, Bone, Death, Fairy, and Holidays. And all their backfills. Let's see. 27 plus 8, so that's 35 plus 3. So 38 new combos that need to be added to the optimizer that I have not added yet. I might have to stay on Master Healer for a while here. Man. Still haven't gotten above 200 yet. Probably can use my final form after this round. Yeah, it might be a little bit low, but it's alright. Missed it by just a touch. I've not been on the Discord lately either, because I've been so busy with work stuff. We're opening a bunch of new locations, so just there's a lot of back end work that I do with that, and it's not giving me much free time. But I'll have some nice downtime next week with not working, which might let me maybe I'll have a day where I can just edit videos all day long, so I have a bunch queued up and ready to go. That would be nice. I think that's probably my best option. That's a 33, 34, I think 35 right there is the best damage. They should definitely make it easier for people who have a lower level deck to gradually work their way to unlock all the Alchemist Mastery things. Like make the less useful ones unlocked at, say, gold. And yeah, we were actually talking about what would make the most sense is you could unlock the level 1s of every Arena Alchemist type at gold. And then it'd be, I don't know, Diamond for the level 2 and Masters for the level 3 version. Missed it by that much. So this is actually going to be a little bit of a difficult one this time, but I think we're going to swap over to do some damage now. Kenobi, have you emailed him again at all? Because you don't have to get your account back, you just have to get the cards back, and he can just provide those cards to you very quickly. I don't want tiebreaker. Do I have any Christmas gifts planned for my kids? I don't think we got our kids any gifts. They're still too young to know what gifts are. I mean, my daughter, we bought her a giant, she really likes the Wheels on the Bus song. So we bought her a school bus, like a, I don't know, it's like a 2-foot long school bus. So pretty big size. But I don't think we bought my son anything because he's 4 or 5 months old. So he doesn't really know what's going on in the world yet. What about the ones that only have one level? There's only really the only one that's useful that has one level is Tiebreaker. As Tiebreaker is an interesting one because if someone unlocks Tiebreaker, it makes it a whole lot easier for them to get all the way up to the very top levels of the game. But if everyone had Tiebreaker unlocked, not everyone could be up there, obviously. So I don't know. If you had Tiebreaker unlocked at an earlier level, you're going to make this game be all about who uses the most turns the most efficiently. Because everyone would be able to potentially win their battles, all their battles. And that's kind of what you have right now with the top 5. We all win most, if not all, of our turns. And even if you lose 1 or 2 like I did tonight, because once I drop down to 4th place, I'm getting 6 stars per win, I'm not going to drop far enough down that it will matter long term. So imagine that on a grander scale where the top 100, well, and this already happens sometimes where like the top, I think it's ranks like 50 to 15 are usually within a few stars of each other. So you win a couple rounds and you go from being 50th place to 15th place very quickly. And that could happen on a much larger scale as more and more people have Tiebreaker. You'll have the situation where the top 500 are all just a few stars away from each other. Can you imagine that? Like, you're one round you're rank 500, the next round you're in rank 15. That's, I think, what could happen with Tiebreaker being massively used or available early. You're waiting for him to transfer your data to a new account you made. Why do you need to have your account transferred, Kenobi? Also, if you're transferring your account, that's a John Eric thing, not a Monty thing. Until Combo Master 3? Yeah, you're right. Because if people were able to have full orbs on turn 2 instead of turn 3, that would be a big game changer. I feel like it would be abused, though, so I don't know if they ever would come out with that. But who knows? Who knows? Although one of the things that Monty has talked about is this idea that Tiebreaker would just always be on, and then your actual ability would be a different part. So basically, as long as you get your opponent's health to 0, you win your game. Doesn't matter what your health was at that point. So if that's the case, I think everyone would just rock a Master Elementalist, because the whole point would be get your opponent's health down as quickly as possible, and that takes off 10 extra health right away. And then everyone would have defensively, obviously, the exact opposite of that, which would be Master Healer for defense, which most of the top players do that already if they have the 55 health. They should make smaller gaps for rewards too. Um, it's interesting on the whole like rewards here. So your top 20 get the top reward, then the top 50 get the next one, and then there's a huge jump there to 250, and then an even larger gap to 1500. So it does definitely make people like I haven't played on underdog this week on heroics. As long as I play twice, I can get top 250. I have to play every single day to get top 50, and I know I get a 50 or whatever that is, 50% increase in rewards between those two, but it's not worth the hours of time put into it for the 50% larger reward. At least for me and my time. Well, just want to sit here and look at that. Monty does not. Monty puts the cards into your new account. Yes, but transferring your account, like John Eric can literally merge your old account with your new account, which is what would be the best option for you. Okay, I think 1511 is going to be my best combo. That's a lot of damage done to me. I got a 30 there, or I've got a 35. It would happen on Xanthar too. Like, of all the people you don't want it to happen on. Goodness, these are some horrible combos, huh? Glad I didn't use the final form there. Oh. I could have used that skeleton if I had done the other combo, but that's alright. We're going to just use the Poisonous Prince and finish this bad boy. You PM him on Discord. Although I would say with tomorrow being Christmas Eve, he's probably not working until next week. Just my guess. Most people have tomorrow off of work. Unless you work retail or something, but with his type of position, he would be off. Wow. This is not a good hand. Don't know what's going on here. They want me to lose or something. I'll be swapping over back to healer here after this round. Yeah, these last two bosses were kicking my butt there. Okay, well the good news is we're back to easier bosses and we can swap to get some health here. Let's hope we get a healer or enchanter here for Anna. No... Perfect. Enchanter's the best option. What does PM mean? Private message? You know how you send me private messages on Discord? It's rather than trying to tag him on the server, you just send him a message directly. What about this? Instead of tiebreaker, there's one called weakness or something, and when you have it, it would only make you win in the cause of a tie if you ended with more than your opponent. For example, your opponent has negative 10 HP and you have negative 6. In my mind, I feel like that's really how a tiebreaker should work, where if you both ended with negative, as long as you had... Oh, come on. As long as you had less negative than the opponent is when you should win. But maybe that was too hard for them to code at the time. But in my mind, that makes the most sense. Is tiebreaker shouldn't have been called tiebreaker. It should have been called, I don't know, something else like barely win. I don't know. But the point would be it would only work if you had well, more health than your opponent, or less negative health than your opponent, you know. And maybe they could have made a level 2 version where it then counted regardless or something, and made that one a lot more expensive. But the fact of the matter is, Tiebreaker is already the cheapest arena type, and it's also the most powerful. Kind of seems backwards to me. I think I can get away with 28, and I can. That's good. I watched the new Matrix movie. I don't know if I told you guys that. No, I didn't, because I watched it yesterday. If you enjoyed the previous Matrix movies, this is very much a homage to those ones. A lot of similar scenes, a lot of similar vibe to it. We're going to redraw. It's pretty good. Probably a good idea to rewatch the previous movies first. I did not. And so I'm sure there was a couple things that I missed that were subtle nods to the old movies, but I still enjoyed the movie regardless. It was action-packed and a lot of cool moments. And, you know, Keanu Reeves is a great actor, so can't go wrong with him. All right, we're down to 14th place right now. We got to get all the way to the top, though. Probably means after another round or two here, we gotta kick it back into attack mode. Might be after Lucy here, because she usually doesn't attack too aggressively. Oh, I had to speak, guys. That was my bad. That's it. Let's keep ourselves above 150 health if we can. You're still waiting to watch Spider-Man? Well, let me tell you. Did you watch Hawkeye? I'm going to do one more. The Jama. Yeah, my card count is not all that great right now. I usually have about 100 cards left when I get to Ella, and I still got another 5 battles to go before I get to Ella, so it's not looking good. Never know. Things can change rapidly here. But having to be on Master Healer for so long has not been helpful for this round. Okay, that's a good spot to churn. 180 health. Let's just hope we don't get hit with a reflect. Hawkeye's like a 7.5 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. The biggest question I have right now after watching it is what happened to those guys in the van that got shrunk? Are they dead? I don't know how they survive. Maybe maybe Ant-Man finds them and frees them eventually or something, but that's my biggest head scratcher of what happened to these poor guys who were shrunk. We're going to redraw. Get my health up a little bit here. Love to see it. And then immediately lose all that health because of Francois being a jerk. Don't love to see that. We got to do some damage to him there. That was not bad. And he got to do some damage to us back. I didn't think those two comboed. Oh, but that's a nice little combo there. I think that's a good trade. Yeah, that scene towards the end of the last episode. Although conversely, there's that episode where they make a really giant arrow. And I'm curious how they get rid of that as well. We're going to continue. Had to think for a minute what I was doing. But goodness, yeah, I'm gonna have a challenge here. Biggest thing I have is I've not used a lot of my final forms yet, so that is helpful. We're going to use the poison. Play it safe. That was a good call. 19 damage, so we win. Alright, what's going on in the world today? You're mad you have to wait because there's so much spoilers on? Yeah, why do you have to wait? Are you like on a lockdown type of a thing where you can't go to the movie theater right now? Or are you just seeing it with specific family and you wanted to wait till they could see it? Ooh, well, I guess that worked out. I was going to lose my defense regardless. I know some people in our Discord were talking about how they can't go out right now because there's a lockdown. So, don't know if that's the case for you or not, but I'm sorry if it is. I don't think in California, or I should say in the United States, I don't think we're doing any more lockdowns here. Unless there becomes like a super crazy, gonna kill everyone strain, but I don't think that would happen. You're waiting for your sister to catch on the movie because she said if you wait, she'll pay for your ticket. Oh, good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck. I don't think I would have waited for my sibling to watch a bunch of movies just to pay a few bucks for my ticket. You're going to celebrate the 3-year quarantine anniversary here in March? Yikes. Have you guys not... That seems crazy to me. That's all I can say. I think that's my best option. That should be enough to... Yeah, it should be okay. Because because at the very least I do 28 damage. Yeah, okay, we're good. Here we go. Ella is completed. Oh, thank you, Kenobi, for the stretch. That's a good call. That's a good stop to stretch right now. Oh. Ooh. Did you guys hear that crack? That was pretty good. Yeah, I've noticed. So what out here, they brought back mandatory face masks indoors, and I think a lot of people are over it because even though it's mandatory, no one's wearing face masks. I mean, I wear mine when I'm inside because I'm a rule follower, so I make sure to follow whatever the rules are. But I was surprised how many people are not following the rule right now. It's I think that's a sign of just everyone's fatigued. You can only ask people to do things for so long before they just give up. And I think we're at that point, at least in our country. People don't want to do anything anymore. They don't care. Alright, I need to switch to healer here because I'm about to die. Which means I'm probably not going to get all the way through. But it's alright. We'll see what we can do. Maybe we luck out, get some really good plays here, get some really good health. But it's not looking too likely, unfortunately. Got 9 bosses left here. Media made it seem like the world was going to blow up. You know, I think there's a lot of fear in the unknown, and when things started 3 years ago, we didn't know how bad it could be. We had an idea with had we not made a vaccine, I think you'd have 2 or 3 times the amount of deaths right now than you have. And that's massive, if that were the case. I definitely think this is going to make a long-term impact on the world, just in terms of how we as a whole world deal with issues that come up that affect the whole world. And I hope it ends up being a benefit to solving other world issues, finding that we can work together for a common purpose to defeat something. You know, I always look for the good in things, and my hope is that this leads every nation to figure out better ways to work together to improve things in the world. Don't know if that's the case, but that would be the silver lining to all the crumminess that's happened over the last couple of years. Alright, what do we got here? It's probably my best In case you're wondering, Villain Wind does not make a combo. I saved you guys all some time and issues and problems there. You're welcome. Ooh, back-to-back 17s there, huh? Don't get you wrong, you understand it's obviously not good. The only thing I have against it is that we have worse pandemics and reacted much less scared before. I think we've never had a pandemic happen when people could travel around the globe so quickly. You know, our last pandemic was in 1920 when I don't even think aircrafts existed yet. You had your best way to travel around the world was on a giant steamliner that would take months to get there. You know, so I think your biggest challenge with pandemics now is the fact that you can travel around the world in one day, and how do you deal with a virus that spreads that way, that quickly? You have to be adapting quickly. Crazy. And obviously, every nation's going to have their priorities or their focus and what's most important to them. So some of them might go extreme on the safe side, some might go extreme on the, I'm smart enough to make my own decisions and I don't want people to tell me what to do. And you have countries in the middle. And I think it'll be studied for a long time to see who got it right, who got it wrong. What was the best thing to do? I don't think any one country is going to have the perfect solution. And that's okay. But we can learn from this so that hopefully when another pandemic happens in 50 years, 100 years, we'll have this experience, we'll have the history, or we'll keep repeating our mistakes like we did this time. There's a lot of people who were vaccine deniers, mask deniers 100 years ago, and what can you do? You can't do anything. You just got to be okay with knowing that you're always going to have an anti to a positive. You've got two sides to every coin, and some people will fall on either side of that coin. Last pandemic was Ebola, but worldwide pandemic wasn't for the last 100 years. I'm referring to a worldwide pandemic. Yeah, last widespread pandemic was Ebola, and that was, I don't know, 5-6 years ago. No, it was a little more than that. Obama was in office, so whenever that was. They should not mandate vaccines. When you tell someone to do something, they're going to do the opposite. Just say, we strongly advise you to get vaccinated, but when they push it, no, that's where you lose people. 2016, thank you. Yeah. I think the only way you get people vaccinated is to have a requirement for it. And I think when it comes to a virus, the longer people hold out not getting vaccinated, the worse it becomes. Because viruses mutate, and the longer they have the ability to see ways we're fighting against it, it'll come up with solutions that beat that. And that's how you get all these variants that can continue to spread in someone who's vaccinated, because vaccination doesn't block it, it just protects you as best you can from the known quantities of that virus. But if the virus mutates enough for it to still be dangerous, but not be blocked by your vaccine, then you're going to have to continue getting these booster shots, So it's kind of really, if you want to have any chance of ending a pandemic, your nation has to require vaccines. And not just your nation, everyone worldwide. Or you can let it run its course, like what happened in the pandemic 100 years ago. And it took 5 years. You got tens of millions of people died from it. But eventually, it couldn't find anyone to self-replicate on anymore. It'd take a lot longer nowadays because of the world travel. But that is an option. I don't think I'm going to make it to the end here, guys. Unfortunately. Oh, you can disagree. I completely understand. I'm just looking at a previous example of a pandemic. You'll always have people who deny, but the only thing that statistically has ever helped is when mandates enforced. Because people might have a belief, but when that belief would affect their pay and their job, they quickly don't have that belief anymore, or the belief's not as important as food on their table. You know, I know it's horrible to say, but that's the way it is. All right, I think this is gonna be it. I will swap over, but I don't think I'll be able to beat Xanthar here, unfortunately. So we'll be one shy, or two shy technically. We'll try our best, but I don't think we have enough cards left to get our final form on the board. Well, that's a bummer, but you know what? We got far. Sorry for my loss on the prediction here, but I knew fairly halfway in there that we got it. Oh, you know what? 71% of you said no, I would not beat it, so congratulations to those 71% of you. It's just like socialism. The concept's a great idea, but you never get everyone on board. Yeah, no, I understand that. I've just study after study has shown when the few places that they've required the vaccine, both here in the U.S. and abroad, you have the people who complain, but then at the end of the day, you'll have like one person out of 100,000 that says, "No, I'd rather not have my job." And so, for whatever reason, I think once people get to that point where they have to make a decision of, am I going to keep my job or am I going to quit? 99.99% of them will keep their job and get the vaccine. And I think until our government decides if they're going to do that, if they do that, you'll still have this situation going on for years. Oh, Mrs. Tapdawg, you somehow managed to win with that no? Congratulations. I obviously I think freedom of choice is a very important part of the U.S., but that doesn't, just like freedom of speech doesn't protect you from the consequences of your speech, I don't think freedom of choice should protect you from the consequences of that choice. So you very much could have the choice to not get a shot, but that shouldn't dictate the freedom of choice your company has to keep you on or not keep you on as an employee at that company. I'm sure there'll be companies that would not have a vaccine mandate, but I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what would happen is you look at it that way. You have freedom of speech, but if you were to say something that's so offensive that it could affect your job or your position or something like that, you'd have to be okay with living with those consequences. So you can say anything you want, but are you okay with those consequences? In the same way, you have the freedom of choice of not getting a vaccine or getting it, but you have to live with the choice, the consequences of that choice. So, yeah, there's enough precedents that vaccine mandates are allowed here, and I'm talking specifically in the U.S. I can't speak for other countries. There's enough precedents in our history that vaccines can be required both by a company or by a school or a workplace. I don't know if there's precedents for the government requiring it outside of a school mandate, which is the government requiring it in order to go to school. So I think it would really be relying on the private sector having them, and I'm sure you'll eventually start to see it. There's a handful that have already required it, but you'll probably see a massive wave of companies saying it's required for our company. What I was shocked by is in California here, healthcare workers are supposed to be mandated to get the shot, but they have a loophole for religion. And so I have a handful of friends who are nurses who decided to take the religious exemption, and it frustrates me to no end because they're not religious at all. They just didn't want to get the vaccine because they don't understand science, even though they're nurses. So, sorry, that's a whole other topic. I don't want to get into that. But long story short, yeah, I agree. I think obviously people should have the freedom of choice and the freedom to share what their feelings are, but they also have to be okay with the consequences of those choices and their speech. Yeah, woohoo, politics, right? Now, the religion thing, I can understand. I can understand that because in specifically, if you're someone who has the Catholic faith, they teach that you should not have a vaccine if it had aborted fetuses in it because you're supporting abortion in that sense. I don't necessarily agree with that specific belief, but that is, I can understand why someone would want that to be a religious exemption, because a child that could have been born, that wasn't born, was now killed and used for this purpose. But in my mind, if you're of the Catholic faith, the same thing happened with your Savior. He was killed, for the benefit of the world. And so if someone could be self-sacrificed or sacrificed in a way to benefit the world, how's that not like a Christ example? But anyhow, I want things to go back to normal as well. Yeah. So anywho, that's been my short politics answers for tonight before Christmas. And the beauty of America here, or most of the world, is we can agree, we can disagree, but at the end of the day, we have that freedom and ability to choose whatever we want to believe, and still be friends, still get along, still have things we agree on, things we disagree on. Let's see. Should we get the Derpster? Let's go give him some love on Twitch tonight. Merry Christmas, all. Hope you have a wonderful evening. We're gonna go raid the Derpster. Go give him some love. Yeah, we all love in the end. Did I actually raid him? Yeah, okay, we're gonna raid him. All right, so thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'll be back hopefully next week, and I will see you all at that time. Merry Christmas, and if I don't see you, Happy New Year. Alrighty, take care.